Hello there, YouTube. I've not made any videos for a few weeks, and I thought I would make a video just to let you guys know what's going on and give you a bit of an update. I have been looking after my cats. I've got one of them here, which I'll show off now. There she is. She's been quite ill, and she's quite dangerously underweight. Aren't you, love? Now, do you want to jump up? Okay, you go lie down there then. Now, I've been looking after them. I've been nursing them during the night, staying up with them, feeding them. It's been awkward for me, because I'm not quite sure what's up with them. I think it might have been an infection, but I don't know for sure. I've had vet's appointments, and I've tried to do what I can for them. It has cost a lot of money. So, for those wondering, if you're a Patreon supporter, that's what the money's gone towards. It's keeping these girls alive. So, she seems much happier. She's eating. At one point, she went 5 days without eating anything at all. She was still drinking water, but she didn't eat any food at all. Bobo, come here, love. Come on, come here. Come on. Come on. Come here. There you go. Ooh. This is the other one. She has been very excitable the past few days. She's been running around, just playing in the living room. I think she enjoys having the full reign of the house. They're going in for their spaying surgery tomorrow, and hopefully that will help, because at the age they're at, cats tend to develop a level of depression when they realise that they've reached that age where they're not getting kittens. They get very broody. Well, female cats do anyway. They get very broody. They get very upset. They stop eating. They stop grooming themselves. They basically stop caring. And it makes sense, really, when you think about it. They're between 7 and 8 years old now. And that would be the equivalent of being a 40-year-old virgin. And if you've got this instinct to go out and breed, and you reach your 40s and you've never even seen a member of the opposite gender, I can see that being a reason why it would give you this melancholy feeling. And apparently the spaying, because it changes their hormones, often fixes that. Their appetite increases, they get more affectionate, they get more calm. Also, they're indoor cats. They're not going to be breeding, they're not going to be meeting anyone. So they're not going to be meeting any male cats. They're not losing an aspect of their life, but there are severe infections. They can get like vaginal infections and uteral infections, things like that, which can be deadly. We had a dog when I was younger that got one of those infections. We never had her spayed, because why have her go through needless surgery when she was an indoor dog and we didn't have a male dog? She got one of those infections, it killed her in under a week. She was ill for 2 days. By the time we got her to a vet, it was too late. It was just one of those where we thought maybe she had a bit of an upset stomach. Second day we took her into the vet, it was too late at that point. The infection had taken hold and she was gone. So yeah, that's how quickly these things can kill. And I don't see any reason to put them under this threat where they could get these kinds of infections, when a simple surgery could make it so that they could never be an issue for them. That sounds like a good plan. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I wanted to get on and chat with you guys, because it's been a while since I posted any videos, and obviously I've had this pressing matter to attend to. Like, animals take a lot of your time when they're ill. When you've got to hold them all night and coax them to eat and make sure they're drinking and make sure they take their medication, especially when trying to get a cat to swallow a tablet. If you ever tried to feed a cat a tablet, they don't want to swallow it. Especially when you can't hide it in their food, because one of the things that is the problem is that they will not eat any food. Well, yeah, you didn't enjoy having tablets, did you, love? But you needed to. It was for your own good. So, yeah. She's been cooing. The other one's been cooing for pretty much the entire time. She's downstairs. She just goes from one end of the room to the other, just cooing and meowing to herself constantly. It's a little irritating, honestly. I'm hoping that this broody cooing behaviour will stop after she's had the surgery, because it makes it impossible to do anything that's audio specific, because she's cooing all the time. If anything, she's quieter now than she usually is. She's usually a lot louder, and it's almost constant. Yeah, we're talking about you. Now, I've got other videos I want to produce. I've got other things I want to talk about and get out there. And when these are feeling a bit better, so after tomorrow, when they've had the surgery, I'm hopefully going to be able to set myself up so that I can make some more regular videos. I've been scripting videos, and I want to do some more scripted videos. I've been scripting gaming-related videos. I've got a couple of platformer and gaming-related videos I want to do. And I've been recording a Let's Play of Stardew Valley with a lot of mods. And I thought that I could do kind of a gaming Let's Play podcast thing where I play Stardew Valley and I describe what I'm doing and I just talk in general, just a light-hearted, casual kind of gaming Let's Play chat podcast. I thought that would be a bit of fun. I've installed a lot of mods on this, so I've got the Ridgeside Village, I've got Stardew Expanded, I've got loads of other things on there. So I've got the expanded dialogue, I've got loads and loads of various different things, and I've increased the time scale so that one day takes about 45 minutes, and so that each episode could be a single day. That's the plan anyway. So I think it's going to be fun. I think it'll be interesting. It'll be a very light-hearted chat, and it'll give me an opportunity to just put audio over the top of a video rather than having to get the camera out, because I have to filter this camera 3 or 4 times in order to make the audio useful. I do have a few things I want to do bookish related. I've got quite a few books I've been reading through and playing about with. I've started The Final Empire, the first book in the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Hello. You're wanting to sit right up on me. You don't usually want to do that. So I've started that. I'm also I'm quite in the mood for Stephen King, and I've been craving a reread of Needful Things, so I'm going to start that soon. I read Murder on the Orient Express a couple of weeks ago as a buddy read. That was fun. And I've been reading through a couple of Lovecraft stories and a couple of other short stories. So those have all been interesting, and I'd like to talk about those. I know there was a video recently that Steve Donahue put out where he was talking about book clubs and read-alongs, and he was talking about his and Michael K. Vaughan doing different book clubs, and they were purposely picking books that were either easy to find and relatively cheap, or public domain and therefore free. And that's a good idea. It means that you don't exclude anyone, but honestly I think that's a bit pandering and a bit patronising. If you're able to sit here watching YouTube, if you're able to afford a smartphone or a computer or a smart TV or whatever it is you're watching YouTube on, you can almost certainly afford to buy a book. Like, paperback books are not that hard to find. Now, I'm not going to suggest that everyone has to buy a collectible edition of anything, or a brand new hardback where they are a bit pricey, but you could do a read along thing comfortably, and it not cost any more than £5 to £10, whatever the equivalent is in your currency, for anyone to take part. And I can't think of very many people where that would break the bank if it was only 1 or 2 books a month. Any other hobby is much more expensive. Same with films, video games, board games, music. It's all way more expensive. all of the media is significantly more than books. I remember when I first started on booktube, it was because I was feeling disenfranchised with video games in 2020, and I started buying up books to read. And I realised, you can hear it meowing. Hello, love. Hello. Come on now. Come on. Up you come. Here we are. I remember when I first started in 2020, there were a few games that I was interested in, but most new games are between 50 and 60 quid. Whereas I was able to buy books, second-hand paperbacks, for £2 to £3. And I quickly realised I could get 15 plus books for the same price that I was paying for one video game. I was able to buy up a massive library of paperback books very, very quickly, just because I didn't spend what I normally budgeted for video games. So I would normally budget for a new video game about once every 2 months, because it was one of my primary hobbies. And I thought, if I'm not buying that, I can basically afford to buy a new book every 2 to 3 days, comfortably. And I don't read books fast enough to go through them that fast. So I was buying books faster than I could ever reasonably read them. And that's how I felt. I don't feel that anyone is so financially strapped that they couldn't afford 1 or 2 a month when I could afford 2 or 3 a week comfortably. Now, admittedly, cost of living crisis is different now. I'm skint. I'm, especially with these cats needing vet treatments that have cost hundreds of pounds. They have sucked up every penny of my disposable income for a while now. I'm maxed out on my credit card, and I am skint. I probably couldn't afford a book club that I don't already own the book for, because I can't justify spending any money that isn't necessary at this point. My gas and electric bills are through the roof. I need to make sure I make rent, obviously. I'm having to make changes in the kind of food I buy, because I can't afford to buy anything that's luxury. And that's just the thing you have to do with cost of living crisis. It's why, honestly, the Patreon supporters, I put them at the end of every video. You guys are, the reason that these cats were able to get any kind of medical treatment. You're the reason that I was able to make rent back in February. I appreciate every single one of you and every penny that I get from you guys. I know it's not much. I don't have many Patreon supporters. I have just a few small names, a couple of people who have put in way more than is reasonable. I've got 2 Patreon supporters. I put them down as producers, as kind of like a little gag, because the producer is the person who pays for and greenlights the show in a TV show. So I don't put them as supporters, I put them as producers, because they're effectively producing this. They're putting forward the funding that makes it possible for me to do this. And that makes sense. But yeah, they pay more than what it would cost to keep Netflix going a couple of times over each. So I've got a couple of supporters who really do put some money in for me that I could not be without sometimes. And I've got a few others that put in a couple of pounds, a couple of dollars, whatever it is in their currency, and I massively appreciate them, of course, because even though there's only about half a dozen of you, it all adds up, and it really, really does make a difference. After 2 to 3 months, when I come to cash it out, I have enough in there that I can pay off my utility bills and feel comfortable for a couple of weeks, and it makes a difference. It's such a huge difference. And when I'm monetized on YouTube now, but last month I got all of £1.80. I think it was £1.83. So I compare to the monetization on Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews, which is another channel that I've been watching. And Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews is it's a good channel, but my God, I don't know how on earth he's getting the money that he's getting. He has somehow the best CPC, cost per click, or CPV, cost per view, that I've seen in a long time, because I get nothing close to what he's getting. I wish I was getting his rates. I'd actually make a decent amount of money off the ad revenue. But then I suppose he does get, about 3 times as many views as me, but and gets a hell of a lot more than 3 times as many pounds in his back pocket. So, yeah, very, very different situation. YouTube revenue changes drastically. For him, it's more than what I get on Patreon. And if I was getting that much, I would be diligently making sure I'm putting out 1 or 2 videos a week, because that would effectively be a job. That would be enough that I would be able to become financially independent and not have to rely on things like disability benefits. That would be a nice position to be in. But yeah, I'm really not. So I just wanted to update you guys anyway. That's the situation for me. That's where I've been the last few weeks. That's why you've not seen me. You got to see my cats. Are you hiding away in your pen? There's a little playpen area for them. It's a covered playpen with some treats and a little catnip mouse for them to play with. It's raining outside and the rain's hitting the window, so it's a bit noisy. And I get the impression she's just a bit overstimulated. And this one just seems to want cuddles, don't you, love? This was the least affectionate of the 2 by a long way. To put it, she would not allow you to pick her up. She didn't want to be touched, other than to be stroked, and she preferred just for her head to be stroked. And she would sit next to you, not on you. She wouldn't climb onto your knee. She wouldn't sit on your belly like she is with me, where she's cuddled right in. She would sit next to you, or on the arm of the chair next to you. That was her preferred thing. Like, she would love to sit on the arm where she would be next to my head, where I could just, stroke her head. That's what she preferred. But since she's been ill, she has become way more affectionate. She cuddles right in. She crawls right upon me now. And, she's become much more of a lap cat. I think her not feeling well has made her feel a need to be closer, hasn't it, love? So that's the situation. Right, well, I'm going to go. I will post up some more videos soon, and you will hear from me fairly soon. I'll go through the books I'm reading. I want to go through some more things. I did mention, actually, I never got right to the point. I mentioned that Steve Donahue was talking about his book club, and Matthew K. Vaughan's book club, and he mentioned that his uses extremely affordable books. Matthew K. Vaughan's uses public domain books that you can get for free on what's it called? There's a website where you can download public domain books. It's gone out of my mind, but I'm sure someone will say in the comment section what it's called. And he mentioned in passing, all we need now is for some arsehole to do a Folio Society only book club, where every book is a Folio Society book. And you know what? I have enough Folio Society books. I could probably pull that off. I've got the Agatha Christie books. I've got the Roald Dahl books. I've got all the Philip Pullman books. Seriously, love. The windows are closed. There's no male cats coming. Stop the cooing. Come here, love. Stop the cooing, love. I've got all the Philip Pullman books. I've got the Game of Thrones. I've got the Song of Ice and Fire books. I've got Game of Thrones, and I've got Clash of Kings. I don't have the others yet because they're still expensive. I have Book of the New Sun, Never-Ending Story, Starship Troopers, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Rendezvous with Rama, 1984. So I've got quite a few. I've got Lord of the Flies. There's quite a few of them there. So I actually do have enough Folio Society books now that I could actually do a Folio Society book club. Just based on what I own. I'm very lucky in that when I started collecting the Folio Society books, because they're extremely expensive, I got birthday and Christmas. I got multiple Folio Society books as gifts. And I was extremely pleased to receive them. Like, I have not bought most of those. Most of those have been gifts. Never-Ending Story, the Song of Ice and Fire series, Book of the New Sun, the Something Wicked This Way Comes, and some of the Philip Pullmans were all gifts. Others I saved up for, like the original trilogy for His Dark Materials. I saved up and bought that myself. I bought the Roald Dahl ones myself very recently. As a foolish thing, I wanted to cover them during the whole Roald Dahl censorship thing, and I put them on a credit card, which is potentially not a good thing. I put it on the credit card on a delayed payment thing, so I was paying it off over multiple months. Still haven't finished paying for them, in fact, which was probably not the smartest thing to do. But at the time, I didn't realise I was going to have to drop hundreds of pounds on vet bills. That happened a few weeks before these guys got sick, and then before I knew it, I was going to be out of pocket £600 in vet bills. So it was an expense that I could. Oi! Do not do that there. These cats are getting ridiculous. Do not spray your horrible bum juice all over everything. There are no male cats coming here, and I don't want this room stinking of your arse. Is that understood? Stop it. And come up here. Come here. Come on, up. Come on. What's up, love? What's up? Are you okay? Come here. Come on, love. You're not in trouble. You're not in trouble, honestly. You're not in trouble. I just want you to stop making that horrible spray. It stinks. It's foul. I don't know why any male cat would be interested in you because of that stink. It smells of rotting fish. Stop spraying it around my house. Don't rub up against the camera. Anyway, I best go because apparently she's not going to stop. Will you stop that? She's playing with her mouse now, so she's happy. And quiet for a change. It's insatiable, like I say. 5 hours of constant cooing and rubbing up against everything. Like, I get it. She's not in heat, but she's basically perpetually in heat. This cat, for the last 6 months, has been doing this constantly, and I can't bear it. It's like the smell alone is terrible. Like, I was told male cats sprayed on stuff. No. Female cats, they'll do this thing, they'll arch their back, their tail will go up in the air, the tail will start quivering, and then gunk just goes everywhere. And it fucking stinks. And yeah, you see them do that. It's basically, they may as well be skunks at that point. But yeah, she's doing it all the fucking time. It's disgusting. And hopefully, having her fixed will stop her doing that. So yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.